Happy hump day. How was your Cinco de Mayo? Did you tune into the Met Gala? Did you scroll through the gowns? Who do you think won the night? Let's talk about it. Got vintage Donna Karan fishies because I'm a Pisces. And it's Mother's Day coming up. Let's get into it. Hello, world. Come inside the Dear Juju podcast. My week, let me tell you, it won't be as G-rated, G for frickin' gross, as last week because that was nasty. First of all, my nail is still not healed, so I'm going sans nails still, keeping it real. And we had the best week. So in LA, they have Netflix as a joke. Almost at every single venue. Like there's even a little theater here in Eagle Rock. There was someone playing there. Netflix is a joke. I had no idea who that person was. That's why they're at the small theater. But everywhere you go in LA, someone's playing Netflix is a joke. And that's my favorite time. So this week we had two. My husband and I, we connect over humor. Okay. This is where we connect because I got to be honest, life is great and it's grand and we love her, but she can be rude sometimes, She can get a little feisty. So you need someone who has the same sense of humor. I don't know about you, but for me, that is numero uno in a relationship. Everything fades, okay? The tits sag, the balls drop, the gut protrudes. I mean, hopefully we're fighting against it, but things happen. The sex dwindles as the hormones go nosedive, okay? It's just something that happens. What stays is a sense of humor. And my husband and I, that's what we have. So Wednesday, we went to the Hollywood Bowl and we saw Seinfeld, Sebastian Maniscalco, Jim Gaffigan, and my personal favorite, Nate Bargatze. Bargatze, y'all look him up on Netflix. I love his country ass. He is so clean and genuine and just like, I don't know, he really tickles my funny bone. I have been loving him. Now, each night, to wind down, this is what I do. I watch a comedy special and then I get into a series. That's the way I wind down. Usually and then I fall asleep to something. So lately it's been Nate Bargatze. It used to be Sebastian. I've seen all his. I've seen all of Seinfeld's. I've seen all of Tom Segura. I watched all of Tom Segura. Like I am a comedy buff. I've seen all of Chappelle's. Seen them all pretty much. Cat Williams, Kevin Hart. I love comedians. And if I love you, I love you. Now I'm into Theo Vaughn. For me, he was like the Road Rules guy. And I'm like, the Road Rules guy is doing comedy. No, he is hilarious. And Nate Bargatze is my new one. Okay. So if you're looking for a laugh, go home, kick up your feet, watch Nate Bargatze or Sebastian Maniscalco. I love them. But yeah, I fall asleep then every night to Seinfeld. That's the kind of era I'm in. I have fallen asleep every night to something since I was in high school. First it was The Simpsons, then it was Futurama, then it was Family Guy, South Park, Love Bob's Burgers, then it's The Office or Seinfeld. Like I go through these different shows represent like my different phases in life. And it's just so funny. When I saw Seinfeld, who's 70 years old, by the way, had no idea. Did you know that? Freaking 70. Looks great. And it was a fantastic lineup. Fantastic. But I will say, it did go late. And it's not just like, oh, I'm 41 and so I can't stay up late. It's more like I've been sleep deprived for 6 years. So I just give out. And all that walking and Hollywood Bowl and excitement, 10:30 came around. I was like, I can hear Seinfeld for about 5 minutes and then I'm about to pass out. So yeah, I don't think I could stay up past 10:30 anymore. I can't do it unless I'm like laying down in a bed and all that has to happen is my eyes have to be open. The sleep deprivation is real. So that's who we saw Wednesday. And then Saturday, we saw Shane Gillis, which is my husband's favorite. And I loved him. I actually really loved his opener. List somebody. I don't even know his name. Oh, I was almost right. It's Joe List. And he was like, listen, dating is unrealistic. That's not what marriage is. This is what dating should be. Wake up first thing in the morning. Say the most just unfathomable things that you can think to each other while you're trying to get a task done. Like while you have to cook a meal, you have to go to the grocery store, you have to do the ingredients, you have to come home, you have to cook the meal. But while you're doing that, just saying the meanest and rudest things. If you can get that meal done, or if you can find laughter or happiness or turn it around within that, then it's probably a good fit for marriage. And that had me cackling because I'm like, right? Dating is such an unrealistic expectation to what marriage is. That was hilarious to me. Y'all know my week before. I had to have a week that I looked forward to something, going out, getting a little break, laughing. And then for Cinco de Mayo, I had my neighbors over. And we're going to get into what I cooked. Last but not least, I am rocking the classic HCB is what I used to call it. High cunt bun. Okay. Now I call it that because, or I used to call it that because I'm a dancer, former dancer, once a dancer, always a dancer. And when you went to dance and when girls had their hair in a really slicked up bun like this, it meant they were ballerinas, it meant they were very strict, it meant they were very rigid, it meant that they took themselves very serious. And I usually had nothing in common with the HCB girls. Now, I wore it and rocked it all in my 20s. One time there was like a shadow cutout of a girl with a bun and they were like, look, it's Juju. I used to only wear my hair in HCBs, high cunt buns. And you know what? I thought it was time to bring it back because J-Lo last night rocked an HCB, the queen of the HCBs. And I was like, you know what? That looks so good on her. I remember when I used to do that. I'm going to rock an HCB tomorrow. Ding! J-Lo was one of the hosts for the Met Gala. I thought she looked fantastic. Of course, for me, there's a few people that won the night. Kim's dress was sick. I loved the sweater. I know the internet's divided. I thought it felt like, oh, what, this? I liked it. I thought it toned it all down. But it's the Met Gala. Okay, don't just wear a nice dress. I need fantasy. I need drama. I need things to happen, but you can take it too far. I feel like there is a line there. Lana Del Rey, in my opinion, gave me Sleeping Beauty, Caught in the Woods. Loved it. Loved Lana Del Rey's veil. I thought underneath maybe could have been a little something, a little more oomph, but the veil with the twigs was fabulous. I thought if we're just going for a classic dress, Jessica Biel looked elegant and that pink was so beautiful and floral. I thought Cardi B, what are you doing? That's team too much. It's just like, now I don't even see how that resonates with the theme. Not really feeling it. Go look at Cardi B's. Tell me what you thought about that. But, you know, I love all the memes where you're just like a fat slob judging all the looks while you're at home. And I represented that yesterday like nobody's business. I'm still, if you can hear, my washer is still going off because I want to make sure that the pinworms are cleared, all the eggs. And I'm like, you know what? Look at me judging them while I'm home, making sure that our family doesn't have worms. Lord, it's going good. We're all still healthy. We took our second dose of medication, so hopefully we'll be on the fully clean in a few weeks. But yeah, that was a doozy. All right, so let's get into some domestic goddessness, shall we? So Cinco de Mayo, I had my neighbors over for a little barbecue hang. I had my neighbors there and my neighbors there. And let me tell you, we cooked lamb lollipops. And I made Greek lemon potatoes, I should say. Y'all, these are so bomb. Okay, let me tell you what you do. You make basically a little broth, and they're in this bath, if you will, of chicken broth, lemon juice. I put lemon zest in there, some oregano, salt, garlic, okay? Then you peel the potatoes, and you got to use a yummy buttery yellow, like a Yukon or a Dutch. You know, don't be giving no russet, okay? And you put them in this bath, and every 20 minutes, you basically flip them until they absorb this liquid kind of halfway. Transfer them to a pan. You guys, it's a little bit of work, okay? It's a couple of hours of roasting these potatoes, but they are chewy and yummy and lemony and garlicky. I served it with this side of tzatziki, and everyone was like, I think the potatoes are my favorite part. So it's a little bit of work, but if you put it in, you get out what you put in. And these Greek lemony potatoes are things that dreams are made of. Look up a good recipe and go for it. Now, cocktails, I made a classic margarita. You guys, if you aren't making classic margaritas, if you have some can, throw it away, okay? Put it down the trash, some margarita mix. It is so dang easy. It's silly. Okay, if you have a lime tree, even better. If not, just get you a bag of limes, squeeze some fresh juice, a little agave, some Cointreau, and some tequila. Shake that baby up, pour it over ice, salted rim. So if you're wondering, like, you served margaritas with lamb, what's going on? Okay, so we did a half Australian barbecue and a half Cinco de Mayo barbecue because my neighbors are Aussies. My husband's Aussie, and they wanted to have a classic Aussie situation. It was kind of like a smorgasbord of things. We had 2 salads. We had like an arugula and nut and goat cheese salad. Then she brought over an heirloom tomato and burrata and basil salad that was divine, which went with the lamb and the potatoes. Lovely, classic. We switched to wine for that. Then if you wanted, you could do the Cinco de Mayo thing. So I did my brisket, which go back and scroll or look on my YouTube for the best brisket taco recipe ever. And you could put it in quesadillas. You can make chilaquiles. You can fry an egg over it. This brisket you want to have in your fridge because it's just the meat that just keeps on giving. Okay, baby, eat my taco. I know good tacos. So I did my infamous brisket tacos, and then we had elote Mexican street corn, which was divine. So I made a margarita for that. Sometimes, let's take it back to basics. Let's keep it classic, okay? And if you haven't made a margarita in a while from Scriggity, I think you should do it, and I think you're going to love it. And we're not talking that like Mexican-American blender crap. No, I want a cocktail. And I want that cocktail built from Scriggity. And oh my God, it was divine. Now, on to decor. I just want to make sure that everyone knows that herringbone wood is the way to go, okay? Again, we're talking about classics here. Classic Greek lemon potatoes, a classic margarita. What's classic in decor? If you are redoing your wood floors, please keep it classic. The French do it so good. A herringbone pattern with your wood floors is just... It adds interest to the eye. It brings a little pizzazz. You have a little pattern. And it's basically, it looks like almost a zigzag tiling puzzle situation. That's for tile or wood. It doesn't matter. And I can't wait to do it. Now it's time for Ask Dear Juju, some Q&A with some TNA. Let's get into it. Dear Juju, I love the extravagance you bring to everyday life and would love to get your advice. I'm turning 30 on Monday, and my resolution for my 30s is to be unapologetically extra. Yes! What are some things I can do to be extra that won't break the bank? Wow. Number 1, getting dressed. Like, let's put yourself together. You know what I mean? Use clothes that are already in your closet. Use makeup that you already have, or if no makeup is your thing, do your hair. Like, invest some time into you that feels very extra, because I think more so than money, the thing that we're richest with is time. So if you spend time on yourself, that just shows I'm worth it. I value myself. I love myself. I think that is something that gets a little bit lost in this day and age with all the pajamas and da-da-da. Now, trust me, I love a good pajamas. I'm wearing sweats right now. But I think it's important when we're going out, it's not that you want to show the world that you're all put together, because some days it just don't be like that. It makes you feel better. Like, I was kind of having a crappy day today, to be honest. I woke up, my husband asked me a very triggering question, which was, what are your deepest fears? At like 8 o'clock in the morning. And it just triggered. And then my tears came and we started crying and talking about stuff that was left unhealed. And we're always on this kind of spiritual healing journey together. I digress. But I felt like crap this morning. And you know what? Getting ready for this podcast, putting on my makeup, doing my hair, listening to music, smiling at myself in the mirror while I was doing my makeup and my skincare routine, it really does something to your brain. And I was just, every time I did my makeup, I would smile, I would wink, I would blow a kiss, and I started to feel better from the inside out. It really feels so good. Be like, hey girl, I love you. And I got you. Unapologetically extra. Carve out time for yourself to do something that you love. I've found my thing. My thing is Orange Theory. If your thing is Pilates, hiking, yoga, carve that time and money out to do that for yourself and your body. It's really important to invest in things of quality when you do shop. So in my 20s, I spent dumb money on fast fashion, right? I was a Topshop girl. I was an H&M girl. I have none of those. I found vintage. I've always been a vintage lover. And then I really switched over to investing in peace. As you get to know yourself more, you get to know what's really worth your money and your time. So quality pieces, whatever kind of girl you are, I'm a dress girl. I love robes. I love kimonos. I love caftans. I love dressing gowns. And it's a one-stop glamour wonder. I love earrings. These are things that I love. So now as I got to know myself a little bit more, I can really dial in. So now I can be unapologetically in that nook of what I know works for me. And happy birthday, girl! Oh my God, 30s. The 30s are such a good time. For me, the 40s have been, a little bit interesting. She was, a little bumpy, and I'm only 2 years in. 40, a year and a half in, Jesus. But my 30s, they were bumpy too, but in the best way. I loved my 30s. You're really going to start to find out who you are, what you want. Being unapologetically extra is just that. Unapologetic as well with the people that's around you. This is what works for me. This is what I'm feeling. This is my boundary. You know, I love boundaries on this, okay? So we got to set boundaries. So, recap. We're going to smile at ourselves when we get ready. We're going to carve out time to get ready and put ourselves together because we're worth it. We are going to carve out time for our physical body, especially in your 30s, because girl, it starts to go south real fast. So in all that physicalness, invest in things that make you feel good. Motion is lotion. Okay. So the more you're moving, the more lotioned and up and gooey and good you're going to feel. Make sure you get to know yourself and what you're actually investing in when you do get ready and being apologetic. And what I love dresses, I am going to have the most fabulous dresses, period, the end, paragraph. And then the final thing is be unapologetically extra about your boundaries. That's something that's most important. So we're taking care of the physical, the emotional, the mental, and then we're putting ourselves together and having a little fun. Oh, cheers to you. I wish I had a glass of something to cheers. Happy birthday. Have a great time. Celebrate every single day. And yes, for living unapologetically extra. I love it. I love it. You just gave me so much energy. I love that. Dear Juju, my boyfriend is 7 years older than me and just turned 54. Hey, we've been dating for 3 years. At the beginning of our relationship, we had a healthy amount of sex. However, in the last year, it has gone down to once a month. Oh, God. I've been on the once a month train. It's hard. Needs to be harder, you know. However, in the last year, it has gone down to once a month since he claims he's depressed or has physical issues with his aging body or too stressed out about finances. I need help. How do I get him excited and having sex again? Woo! Now, you can't change anybody, right? One thing I love in AA or, Al-Anon is what I was in or am in, whatever, is you have to focus on your side of the street. It is not your job to make him feel anything besides what he feels. That's his truth. It is your job to communicate what you are feeling, period. We can't change anyone. I can't change my son, my daughter, my husband, my mother, my deceased father, my sister, my brother. I can't change anyone, okay? But what I can do and what my responsibility is to express how I'm feeling and then leave it there and see how they do and then ask them if they want help. So this is my advice. Say, sweetheart, we need to have a talk. Listen, I need to have sex once a week. Right now we are on a once a month schedule, and that's fine. But I think it's really important for our relationship to keep that physical bond going as much as we can. And let me tell you, aging, you have to fight it. Okay. And it's not like fighting it, like fighting against it in a bad way, but you have to be proactive, I should say, in keeping it young, keeping it together, pushing towards things, because you get tired and you get jaded and you get lazy and you're focused on all this crap. If he's stressed, first of all, the best de-stressor in the world, we all know, is getting your rocks off. Okay? Rocks off, stressed out. Okay? It literally, for the brain, lowers your cortisol level, has all the serotonin, the dopamine receptors just popping off, and is the best thing that you can do. Even if you don't feel like it right away, if you start to get into it, it's the best antidepressant. So that has no leg to stand on right there. Now, where I was getting with the fighting against the aging is because we have to do things as our hormones change and our stressors and our triggers and our cortisol level and our testosterone and our progesterone and blase. As that all starts to change, make sure that you are getting checked, that your levels are okay, because this really could be a situation where his serotonin is dipping because of his testosterone levels. I know many men who do little testosterone injections and feel fantastic. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So let's talk about leading the horse to water. Sitting down, saying your side. This is what I really want. If you need help, I think we should get your testosterone levels checked. Let's be proactive in making sure we have a really great sex life into this aging process, right? Because I want to do everything I can. I'm working out. I'm eating right for my hormones. And I want to make sure that you are too, so that together we can make sure our needs are met. And if you're stressed, this is the best anti-stressor. Come on. Right? So is he working out? Check his diet, check his hormones. Then that is something that he can do himself and leave it there. Then you can lead the horse to water. Let's talk about that. Leading the horse to water, it doesn't, sometimes, I don't know about you, but going out to dinner seems a little bit of a drag because it's like $200, feels a little heavy. Hey, we got dressed up. We have to talk to each other. I'm into physical, right? Energy, getting new energy by doing. Energy creates energy. Motion is lotion, okay? So do something dumb and fun. Go putt-putt golfing, go to a water park, go bowling. When my husband and I were dating, I went and found the best like adult go-kart. That was so much fun. We had a blast. We were laughing. We've taken hot air balloon rides. Like do something random. Go to a comedy show. Maybe even we have Jumbo's Clown Room here, which is like it's like a bar, but it's like a Hollywood institution where it's also it's a strip joint, but not like a strip club. It's different. It's hard to explain. It's a exotic dancer kind of vibe. Take him to that. Like have fun, do something unexpected, out of the ordinary once a week, right? So you can really set the mood, help his de-stress, get him a massage. Right? Maybe a lady comes to the house. I've gotten this from my husband before, and I've gotten him a massage, and then she leaves, and he's like, I'm going to get in the shower. And I'm like, before you get in the shower, honey, let me loosen you all the way up. So you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Has to be both sides. Your side, having fun, shaking it up, taking him out, but also communicating your needs, telling them what you need and what you expect, and making sure he's doing his part to do all of that. Last but not least, I had a few more questions, but I just really needed to be reminded of this week, and I want to remind you of this week. I have had, just in general, the past month or two, just kind of a rough go at it, and I've been focused really outward and the things that are outward. And I just want to remind you, and this is why I genuinely say this at the end of each podcast, that you're a star, because I just want to remind you that you are loved, you are taken care of, and just like these things of this world, we scroll in their social media, and it just puts us in this spiral of bullshit that does not exist. In what's really in front of us and what really matters is how we feel about ourselves. Something was said the other day that I thought was so poignant by Gary Vee. Do you know him? Do you follow him? I love him. He said, I think we need to switch the way we see success. And it's not having $1 billion, but waking up and being in a good mood. And oh my God, in 2024, that is so the truth. So just know that anything that you're searching outside of you already exists in you, and just say, what am I searching for? Which got me to what my husband said about my fears and what's my greatest fear. And this is why I'm searching for that, because it's connected to our fears and what's really driving this ship. Just be with it, invite it to the table, see it, and then it'll start to thaw and not have so much hold on you. And then you know that you are it and that you have it already. And just that it's already inside you. I just really wanted to send that reminder because I need that reminder sometimes. And I hope that I can be that reminder for you. Whatever you're searching for, that promotion, that love, that acceptance, that security, that feeling, you can already feel it inside of you because it already exists. Okay? Anyways, you're a star. I love you. Do something today that proves it. And I love you. And see you next week. And I'm out. Mwah.